Hey Northwest, we're so glad you can join us here online today. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in with us. We're continuing our podcast series called Life First. This is an opportunity to hear from our church of how the Lord's impacted their lives. I hope this brings you some encouragement and hope in your daily walk with Jesus. If you need some prayer and support, feel free to reach out to our pastors. For more information, please visit our social media platforms, our church's website at newcbc.com, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay tuned for our Life First for today.
Hi everybody, welcome to Northwest Life First. My name's David. I hope you enjoyed the series so far. I know I really loved just learning more about my family here and the struggles that they've had and how God's working in their lives. Today I want to talk about something that I feel like isn't really discussed enough, something that's taken me quite a few years to learn how to become comfortable with, and that's being open and transparent with others. I feel that society often views expressing one's hurt and insecurities as weak or abnormal, that we shouldn't be depressed or feel alone, that we shouldn't share about our suicidal thoughts or self-harm, but rather we're supposed to be putting on a strong face as we struggle internally. Especially as Christians, as everybody talks about joy and prosperity, I felt guilty for the negative feelings I had. I'm not sure about you, but my natural reaction to painful situations is to suppress any emotions. I'm afraid that by opening it up, people's perspectives about me are going to change, or even worse, that they're going to take advantage of that vulnerability and use it to hurt me instead. And so that's how I went about life. I repressed any emotions the first few years of my father's sickness. I took care of him when I could, but just by ignoring any feelings, it became a lot easier to go about my life. And so as his health declined and the situation worsened, I just bottled more feelings up inside. I'm not sure why, but I felt like for some reason, if I admitted to the situation and to the feelings that I had, it would somehow finalize his condition and condemn him. And so I actually lost quite a few other relationships the last year of my father's life. My girlfriend at the time broke up with me. A lot of friends moved out of state for jobs. And yes, and my relationship with my father was about to end. And so at that moment, I wasn't able to repress my feelings anymore. So thankfully, a brother and sister in Christ reached out to me. And as soon as we met up, all of my emotions came pouring out. I started to ugly cry. Snot was dripping down my face. My voice cracked so bad that I couldn't talk. But by the end of it, their perspectives of me didn't change at all. Nor did they use my vulnerability to hurt me. Rather than judgment, I saw tears fill up in their eyes as their hearts broke over my pain. And that kind of moment is indescribable. To have people care about you so much that their own hearts break for something that you're experiencing, that's the intimacy of true friendship. And immediately I felt a wave of relief come over. I no longer felt burdened or weak, but rather strong, calm, confident that God was in control of the whole situation. We're not meant to walk through this life alone. Galatians 6:2 says, bear each other's burdens, and in that way you will fulfill the law of Christ. And so we're actually following God's will by confiding and supporting one another. It's not something we should be ashamed or afraid of doing, right? We're called to do this. And this kind of transparency doesn't ruin friendship, it straightens it. It builds a deeper level of trust. And so one verse that I've held close to my heart, and I think pairs well with Galatians, is Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 to 25. And the verse says, and let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. You see, this is how we're called to act towards one another, and this is how we build those kinds of friendship, by continuing to love and encourage. To meet up even when we feel tired or if we have to drive across town, and to do all this even more often every day as we draw closer to the day when Christ returns. So I just want to encourage for those who are struggling to reach out. We're here to talk, to love, and support you in any way we can. And for my brothers and sisters in Christ, I challenge you to just reflect on Hebrews chapter 10, verses 24 to 25, and consider how you can just encourage the people around you to love. Thanks for tuning into Life First. Have a blessed day.